Hello everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Queen's Park and Queen's Park Supporters Association End of Season Awards 2020. I hope you're all well and healthy as the country begins to emerge from lockdown and hopefully go back to whatever normal life becomes and getting back to the game we all love. It's a short mention of the season gone by. Ultimately it ended in frustration. We felt the move to professionalism, the change of management team, and indeed the reinforcements we were able to bring in, had kind of set ourselves up for a potential of contesting a playoff, and our hope was to gain promotion via that method. However, against the backdrop of the pandemic, I think that takes precedence. But nevertheless, we feel it's important to recognise the achievements of all our players who contributed, and there was many of them, and I'd like to thank them all for the commitment, desire, and indeed no little ability and athleticism that they brought to the club. So moving on to the awards, it's my pleasure on behalf of the committee to make the first award, which is the Young Player of the Year. This award goes to a young player who's demonstrated his commitment with the sheer transport logistics he faces. It demonstrates an incredible commitment to his sport and indeed the club. On the pitch, he demonstrates very similar commitment, covering every blade of grass or indeed strand of astroturf, and chipping in with the odd goal. I'd like to, on behalf of the committee, award the Young Player of the Year 2020 to Kieran Moore. Moving on to the committee player of the year, we're almost unanimous in our views. The committee, there were strong contenders. Sal contributed lots of goals. There were other very strong performances over the season from both the newer players that arrived in January and those that were with us back in July. But as I say, we fairly came to a unanimous award for the 2020 Queen's Park Committee Player of the Year, our club captain, David Galt. Congratulations, David.
David, thanks for joining us and congratulations on being awarded the Queen's Park Committee Player of the Year. You must be pleased with that award?
I'm buzzing, Sean. It's obviously been a difficult season, particularly towards the end of it there, and difficult situation, and obviously a wee bit of the season still to go. So, in an ideal world, you win this type of award in April or May when your team's had some sort of success, and for that for us might have been playoffs and gaining promotion or whatever. But all in all, it is what it is, and I'm really delighted to win that. There's loads of guys on that committee that I've tons of respect for, and they've been around the club for a long time. So for them to award me that is excellent. I really value their opinion and respect their opinion. So I say to get an award from them is really a real proud moment for me. Yep.
Excellent. And then, I mean, obviously the season was cut short, as you mentioned. How do you assess the season overall, up until the point that it was brought to an end early?
Aye, I think we probably discussed that not too long ago, and it's one of them that started off looking quite promising, had a couple of wee ups and downs throughout there, had a wee shaky period, we had a couple of good results in there, and then obviously a new manager had come in and looked as if we'd put a wee bit of consistency there. So overall, it's probably more good points than bad, but I think we probably just hit form at normally be the right time, but obviously it's the situation's not allowed that, and but overall I would be satisfied with it, and I think we would only got stronger as the season had went on.
Over the course of the season, you chipped in with 7 goals. Do you have a favourite for those?
Yeah, it's probably the best return I've had in the season, so I'd hopefully fancied myself to get a few more and try and get to double figures, which I wanted to try and do this season. In terms of favourite one, I think probably my best one I would say would probably be the Ilgin one from the most recent game. If you ask me the one that I enjoyed the most, I would probably go with Stirling Albion at the start of the season, just being the first league game of the season. Really, really tight game, probably could have went either way, and no team sort of looked like scoring, and then obviously I got the goal and we won 1-0, and it sort of got us off to a good start, and I think that's really important in any season to get your first game started with 3 points. Just that's a good trend, so we obviously started really good, and hopefully that was part of it.
And just lastly, over the course of the season, there was a number of high points. Is there one particular that stands out for you?
I just enjoy playing all the games where we win, so if you go through all them, then they were all high points for me. I think if you were to pick out individual games, then I think you would obviously look towards Queen of the South, where you won in the Scottish Cup away from home, and we were massive underdogs that day, and to get a result against them was huge. Edinburgh City away, which maybe not as big a game, but for me personally, I felt I had a wee bit more impact in that game than what I did in the Queen of South games. I probably enjoyed that one a wee bit more, but overall through the season, there's plenty of highs and some scoring goals. Teammates have been excellent this season, and there's been loads of them. I couldn't say anything bad about any teammate that we've had. It's been a brilliant bunch of boys. Obviously, since January, a lot of new boys have come in, and they've all settled in brilliantly. And I couldn't speak highly of them. They're a brilliant bunch of boys, even boys that come in on loan for other clubs. That are a really good bunch. Both managers I worked under. I loved working under Mark. I really liked him as a person. I have a lot of time from him. Made me enjoy football again ultimately, and that's thanks to him. And if I was to then go to Ray and Laurie, then they, for me, I think I've just took it to another wee level, and we seem to put the consistency together with results now, which we maybe didn't quite manage with Mark for whatever reason, but we managed to get there with Ray and Laurie, and say it might have been I think we were in for an exciting end to the season, but unfortunately we'll never get to see that, and hopefully now the way we finish there is the way the club can get started again once we get restarted with football.
I'd like to at this point hand over to Mr. Keith McAllister for the Supporters Association Awards. Thank you.
Thanks very much for that, Gerry. It's been a challenging season for the club. We face moving from Hampden to Lesser Hampden, but that should give us some opportunities to make some money, and it also gives us the opportunity to be more in control of what we do. It's very disappointing to leave Hampden, but playing at Hampden is a bit of a double-edged sword. So we have to look forward to the opportunities that Lesser Hampden presents for us. Very importantly, we've also changed our status. We've moved from amateur to professional after 150 odd years. Very challenging for old lags like myself, who appreciate the history and the ethos of this fantastic club. But I think just about everybody appreciated that this is the way we had to go. So, most importantly, I think it does give us the opportunity to give a vehicle for these young players that we produce year after year, who we can't hold on to. Some of these guys are leaving our club before we've even seen them in the first team. this professional status gives us the opportunity to give these guys something to play for in a professional sense, and I'm looking forward to it. We can also attract good players to this football club, and I think the future on the park is very rosy. Going back to last season, we have 3 awards. First one is the Stuart Henry Award for the goal of the season. We were very lucky to see some cracking goals this year. 3 or 4 of them in the top 7 or 8 involved David Galt, either scoring them or making them, and I'm very pleased to say that David's strike against Elgin City in February at Hampden is the winner of this year's award. So, David, congratulations.
I say it's in a situation which is really difficult just now, then that puts a smile on my face, and obviously I'm delighted to win both of them. And I'm buzzing. I don't really know what to say to that, and ultimately thanks to everybody who voted, and thanks to all the fans, and ultimately a big thanks to them. Really, they've been excellent throughout the season, and there's lots of trips throughout the season, and they've always been there in big numbers at Elgin and Cove and Annan. Their long journeys and Brecon on a Wednesday night, and still see the support that we get there. So ultimately thanks to everybody who voted on that, and thanks very much.
Second award is the Martin Kelly Award, named after one of our young supporters who left us far too early. This is voted for on the away bus every week, and all the votes are totted up at the end of the season. Very tight at the top. I'm very pleased to say that Geoffrey Liederen has won this award. Congratulations, Geoffrey. Last award is the Ivy Riddel Award for the Player of the Season. And this is voted for by the members of the Supporters Association. They give it their 1, 2, 3. And again, like the Travel Club Award, it was very, very close. But I'm pleased to say that Salim Kuder Aisa was the winner this year. It's great to see guys with a bit of confidence up front, banging the goals in. And Salim has had a terrific season for us. So congratulations to you, Salim, and to David, and to Geoffrey.
Sal, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on being awarded the Queen's Park Supporters Association Ivy Riddel Player of the Year Award. You must be happy to have won that.
Yeah, I'm obviously happy. It's pleasing to be recognised off the supporters for all the hard work during the season. I was really enjoying my football, and unfortunately it had to come to an end early.
You obviously made the step up last summer, 17 goals over the course of the season. Probably would have got more if the season hadn't ended early. Were you pleased with your contribution?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe could have had a few more, but that's me being a bit greedy, so hopefully I'll grab them next year.
And from the goals, is there a particular one that stands out? You got a favourite?
I've got a few favourites. Obviously, away to Queen of the South, and then both goals against Edinburgh, home and away, to put us 2-1 up and win the game. Both goals probably kind of different in a sense, but both, as soon as I hit the ball, I knew exactly where it was going. I caught them so sweet and happy that it hit the net.
You obviously mentioned the season coming to an early end. How do you assess the season overall from a team perspective? We were going well when it was brought to an end.
I think the first half of the season, as you say, bit of a roller coaster, up and down. Couldn't really find the consistency needed. And then when the manager came in, went on a run and found ourselves slowly but surely climbing up the table.
So obviously over the course of the season, there was quite a few high points. Is there any particular games or moments that stand out for you?
I think the high point is probably Queen of the South away in the Scottish Cup. Being able to score 2 as well and put us through against Kilmarnock, which in a sense was a kind of different day out, but we were able to compare ourselves individually and as a team against a team that's obviously playing SPL, and it was obviously not the best day, but we were able to kind of compare it individually and, as I say, as a team.
Excellent. Thanks very much for your time, Sal.
No bother at all.
Cheers.
I'd like to thank the players for all their efforts this year. I think we've played some really quite exciting football. We've scored some cracking goals. I think the change towards the end of the season when we went on this fantastic run, it was great to watch. It was great to be a Queen's fan, and I'm hoping that very, very soon we get the opportunity to see the guys on the park again. And most certainly, we want a football where the fans can go along. It's very, very true that football is nothing without the fans, and I want to be there cheering on my team week in, week out, and hopefully we'll hear something relatively soon which gives us a wee bit of confidence that can happen. So thanks once again, everyone who's contributed to my enjoyment this year, and I certainly hope that I get to see every one of you very soon. Thanks again.